Hello everyone and welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. I love doing these videos. They're exciting, they're fun, and I get to showcase what I think of these ding-dongs in charge. And of course, share my opinion with you, and it's just an opinion. I may not be right at all. Perhaps we should all be taking our hard-earned pesos and just blowing them in American retail stores and going into debt instead of all of this silly nonsensical trying to save our wealth by buying prepper items that could be useful in case they destroy everything. Because they seem to have a good handle on stuff, don't they? Or maybe not. You're going to love this. Report claims racist pirate equity firms destroyed 1.3 million retail jobs. Once again, the headline. It's true and it's not true. Elizabeth Warren, a Democrat senator, a.k.a. also known as Pocahontas, right? She has a Twitter feed, and lately she's been trying to sound like a fiscal conservative, like we need to stop this deficit spending, old school Democrat. She's trying to make it sound like she wants a system that doesn't destroy itself to benefit the shall we say, undeserving entitlement class, because they are undeserving. They want it all for free. But she's playing into that. She's trying to get the moderate vote, which is fascinating, because at the same time, the other part of the Democrat wing, the four horse-faced women of the apocalypse, are pushing socialism full speed ahead. Now, it wasn't too long ago that Elizabeth Warren was playing this socialist side. Run to the left, run to the left. Now she's running to the right, but she's playing the race card. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Calling international globalist corporations and hedge funds. That's right. She's not just calling corporations, she's calling these investment bank firms racist, because of the jobs that have been lost. 1.3 estimated million retail jobs have been lost. What's she saying? Well, if they're racist firms, they're destroying jobs that are held by minorities? Is that what she's saying? You know, they see racism. I see anti-American, pro-international globalist. But they see racism. So this is a story about two things. In reality, it's a story about what is being done to our economy in the name of greed, and what is being done to our political and social systems in the name of divide and conquer, virtue signaling, victimization, pandering of Democrats, socialists, and communists. Right? Her Twitter feeds have been clogged with clips of Rachel Maddow and links accusing President Trump of breaking the law. But as soon as she has a spare moment to read it, we imagine the following report will make an appearance in her campaign literature and stump speeches. In other words, yeah, she's going to take this. This is part of her campaign. And a lot of people are now saying that this move by Elizabeth Warren to sound like she wants responsible government spending. I don't want responsible government spending. I want reduced government spending. I don't want deficit spending. I want to see a reduction in spending well below that of what they take in taxes, so they can bring down spending and bring down taxes, and then bring down spending and bring down taxes. In order to do that, you've got to shrink the size of government as well as what government spends. That's me, and I'm silly. What do I know? I'm just a guy, right? But they titled this, right? Pirates Equity, How Wall Street Firms Are Pillaging American Retail. Right. Well, what they're doing is these firms, these giant, you can read the article if you want all the minutiae and detail, but these giant hedge funds, these investment firms, these companies come in and they'll buy up control of a company like, let's just say, Toys R Us, Charlotte Russe, Kmart, Sears. Payless Shoes is a great example. They'll come in and buy them, and then they'll take the real estate that company owns that they're sitting on, and they will mortgage it and put that money back into the pot and then pay themselves dividends and bonuses. But they'll indebt the company. They'll come in and control these companies and shut half of the retail locations down, take the inventory, send that inventory to their other stores that remain so that they don't have to buy new inventory, so their profits look big. They look more profitable. And they pay themselves a handsome bonus and dividends and salaries. But what have they really created? Nothing. What they're doing is they take remaining assets and either mortgage them, right, or reduce the size of the bottleneck in their company, that is the sales centers, and they are cashing in on the inventory. So they're taking available assets, real estate and inventory, and they're taking money from that. And they're slashing overhead, which is cutting retail locations and cutting out jobs. And Elizabeth Warren is stupid enough to call this racist, or the report is stupid enough to call it racist. But you can bet the race-baiting left is going to be right there, pow! They're going to be right there, ready to call this racist, to turn it into a political battering ram. It's a 1-2 economic punch. Now, I agree. This buying of corporations just to piecemeal them out is despicable, Gordon Gekko, slimy douchebaggery. I agree with that. You know, calling it profit while destroying, right? It's like burning the furniture to stay warm. That's what they're doing. They're burning America down, and they're heating their homes with it. They're buying mansions and yachts and everything that they think they need to have in order to, I guess, live better, to feel more profitable. But they're doing it by destroying other things, including jobs. But I think it's racist on the part of leftists to point out that, well, it's racist because you killed all these retail jobs. Are those the only jobs that minorities can get? Is that what they're saying? You know, why bring race into this? Why not just keep it simple? Why not just keep it, this is economics and this is how they're destroying America? Instead, they're continuing to add on to that. Well, look what's been going on, and they're not going to really do anything to change it. Because just like Minuccio, right, Steve Mnuchin, who I called Pinocchio character, he comes out and tells the truth. Why? It's for political gain. It's so they can say, see, we know the truth over here. That's what Elizabeth Warren is doing. She's pointing out truths in an attempt to make people believe that she is virtuous and good and worthy of the office and that she knows what to do. When in truth, it's just an election or campaign game. It's how to win friends by letting them know you're on their side. When in fact, Elizabeth Warren is only on the side of Elizabeth Warren. And Steve Mnuchin is only on the side of Steve Mnuchin. They're not on the side of America. I don't believe they are. Because they can tell the truth. Like Elizabeth Warren will talk about, oh yeah, they're destroying America by doing this to these corporations, by taking their assets and cashing in on their assets and then leaving the companies for dead. Not really fixing any problems, just leaving them for dead. Well, the social structure, the fabric of our nation, the culture, the traditions, the concepts that made America great, they're tearing down by continually setting things on fire with screams of racist when they have no argument about anything else. They'll scream racism. If you're the bad guy and they don't have anything against you like they do with Trump, they'll call him a racist. Me, white, male, Christian, European descendant, heterosexual, I am bad on every level because I don't stand up and scream that LGBTQ rights matter. They don't. What matters is that we have equality under the law. That is, anything having to do with the government, we're equal. As it comes to each other, we're not equal. I'm 6'6". Nobody else that is below that can be taller than me. You want to wear platform shoes? Go right ahead. I'm not stopping you. But you're not equal to me. And I'm not equal to somebody with a higher IQ than me. I don't think they should take drugs to dumb them down so I feel better. So I don't think that people like Elizabeth Warren should expect me to drink the concoction of social manipulation that they have brewed for me to get me to dumb myself down and accept their shit. See, they're all bringing the country down. Who is elevating the country? And I'll tell you what, lying about the economy and saying it's the greatest ever is, once again, it is poison Kool-Aid to get me to believe something that isn't true when it's obvious by all of the reports that we talk about that we're sliding into a recession, when mainstream news says we're going into recession, when major financial companies are also saying we're going into recession. Morgan Stanley's not a small company. Ray Dalio saying buy gold is not a small deal. When billionaires say buy precious metals and invest into them, what are they saying? We're going into recession. So to continue to lie to me and tell me this is the greatest economy ever, or the economy's in great shape, is a lie. I'm not buying their lies. Instead, I see what they say. It's the greatest economy. They're racist firms, right? They're just lying to us. As preppers and independent thinkers, you and I have the ability to examine information and take what we want from it that's the truth, discard the lies, and make appropriate decisions for ourselves. I think that's the right thing to do. Right? I don't believe that buying into a lie will make it a truth if we say it enough. It just means people are believing a lie. And that makes them fools. And I will not be made a fool of. Now, they can, shoot me, stab me, kick me, beat me, but you're not going to make me a fool. Right? And you aren't either. We aren't. So that leaves us with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense. Protect your wealth by putting it into things that are useful and valuable to you, right? And stop buying their crap. I'm not going to buy it at their stupid stores. I'm not going to buy their political crap. Right? I'm not going to buy it because it's just going to put me in a position where I can be taken advantage of. That is the difference with being a prepper, is we've stepped out and away from that. Right? We've stepped away from it and said, okay, let's examine the information for what it is. This is why they want to shut down the Prepared Mind Network, the SGT Network, the Alex Jones Network. They want to shut down Steven Crowder. They want to shut down Joe Rogan. They want to shut down everybody that has an opinion that is contrary to what they're saying. And that's why guys like Peter Schiff, he's struggling and clawing to get FaceTime on mainstream news. Yeah, it's his business. But they don't want to hear what he has to say because it's contrary to what the network is selling and what their corporate mouthpiece sponsors want them to do. In other words, the corporate sponsors of CNN, Fox News, CNBC, they want their shows to talk about how good their products are. Now, it used to be that, I guess, well, for example, Johnny Carson would sit at his desk and drink a cup of Ovaltine and say, Ovaltine's good, delicious, and it's nutritious. Right? They would have him be the mouthpiece. But you knew it was a commercial. Now they're reporting the news, which is actually a commercial for the false economy. They're calling that news, and they're selling it as news and not saying that this is a commercial spot. Same with the reporting that Trump is a racist. That is not news. That is the corporate sponsor's message being portrayed as news. Right? That is what, and they're literally portraying their sponsored message as news. Now, when did corporations become politicized? Well, they've been there all along, but they become more so, and now it is blatant. It is obvious. Social media giants coming out and testifying to Congress. We don't have a political message. They're lying so badly. It is. I just imagine them, they're being Jim Carrey, bending over and putting their ass towards Congress and talking out of their ass. Rah, 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 right? And the Congress buys it. When it's obvious. In fact, in a related news story, here's my commentary. Right? The guy from Google that's come out, one of their execs or programmers, and said, yeah, it's all political. They're lying. So now he is being suspended and sanctioned by the company, right? They're going to punish him for telling the truth about them. That should be front page, headline, bold print news. He's a whistleblower against a corporation, but the news companies, zip, are being very silent about it. Why? Because they're being paid. Those are their corporate sponsors. Who's my corporate sponsor? You guys. That's why I say the things that I believe, because that's why you chose to sponsor the show. With your patronage at Patreon, YouTube, thepreparedmind.club, Facebook, wherever we're at. You guys are only here to hear what I have to say so you can think about it for yourselves. That's why you've sponsored me. Not to silence me, not to make me say what you want to say, but to hear what I have to say about the shit that's going on so we can be properly prepared. And I'll give you a unique perspective. It's a fair exchange. Corporations now aren't doing a fair exchange with news media. They're saying, we're going to stop sponsoring you unless you say what we want, and they're held hostage. I'm not hostage to you guys. You're not hostage to me. That is called a fair, right? A fair exchange occurs. It's a good relationship. The news media lying to us on behest of their corporate masters, and then telling us that's all we can listen to. You can't listen to John or anyone else. That is not a fair exchange, right? That is a monopolistic situation. It's a monopolistic arrangement by which we have no choice. That's why freedom of speech is so important. Racist equity firms. Yeah, they're pirates, I agree. But they're not racist, and it's not about race for them. They couldn't give a shit if Payless Shoes was only employed by white people. That's not why they're going to destroy it, and that's not why they're going to save it. They're not there to save anything. They're only there to profit. And they don't care who gets hurt and who gets in the way. They wouldn't care if it was all Puerto Ricans. They wouldn't care if it was all South Korean immigrants. They don't care. You see, that's just it. The only people that care do so for political gain only. You think Elizabeth Warren really cares? I doubt it. Unless she knows you personally or you're related to her, maybe she'll care a little bit. But I don't believe she cares any more than 99% of politicians care. They're there to take care of themselves, right? So what do you get to do? You get to prepare, because that's all we can do for ourselves. That's it, right? That's all we can do. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Care for yourself. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Thank you again, everybody. I'll talk to you very, very soon.